Hi guys, welcome to Get Real Life TV. This is where we talk about African culture, traditions, and religion. I thank you all for your support on this page, both in cash and in kind. If you are new here, kindly click on the subscribe button down below to subscribe free of charge so that you don't miss anything on this platform. And if you want to support us, you can make use of the join button down below to be one of our members on this platform. The membership platform is a way of showing your support to us. Thank you very much as you do that. So, this is the continuation of the English version of what Odu Ifa says. In my previous video, I shared with you what Odu Ifa says on sexuality and the blessing of childbearing. So today, another message that you can get from Odu Ifa is what I will be sharing with you in English. As you all know that I've done the Yoruba version, but for those of you who do not understand Yoruba properly and you find it very difficult to understand what the Odu Ifa says from the closed caption, that is from the translation in the videos, in the Yoruba version of the videos. So I have taken it upon myself to translate and to share with you what our Odu Ifa says. So I've done my research and I still do my research on daily basis to give you information about our spirituality, about our culture and traditions in Africa, most especially in Yoruba land. So let's get started with another message from Odu Ifa Eji Ogbe. Let's get into it. So, Odu Ifa Eji Ogbe. What Odu Ifa Eji Ogbe says on long life. So let's start with the short stanzas of this Odu Ifa. What the mouth sees is what the mouth eats. This cast Ifa for the snail who eats the ground without dying. So that's the three stanzas. Now let's listen to the Yoruba version of this stanza.
Ohùn tẹ́nu ń rí lẹ́nu ń jẹ, adífá fún ìgbín tó ń jẹ ilẹ̀ tí ò ní kú.
What the mouth sees is what the mouth eats. This cast Ifa for the snail who eats the ground without dying. So let's move forward. You are going to understand better as we continue. So, snail was told to offer sacrifice. I think you understand what that means. Snail we are talking about here is the animal that you all know. You know, snail with the shell. So, snail was told to offer sacrifice. On what ground? So let's continue. You are going to understand why. Snail consulted Ifa to ensure that he would not die young. So I think you understand what that means. So Snail consulted Ifa to ensure that he would not die young. So why? We are going to know as we move forward. He consulted Ifa in order to live long. So this is why Snail went to consult Ifa. He consulted Ifa in order to live long. So let's continue to know what happens afterward. So Ifa told Snail to offer sacrifice with 33 he-goats, and some Ifa spiritual works was carried out. So Ifa told Snail to offer sacrifice when he went to a Babalawo to do Ifa consultation for him. He was told to offer sacrifice. Why did the snail went to a Babalawo? He went to a Babalawo because he wants to live long. So on getting to a Babalawo, Babalawo told Snail to offer sacrifice. He was told to offer sacrifice with 33 he-goats, and that some Ifa spiritual works must be done for him. So let's continue. He therefore performed this sacrifice. So Snail listened and he performed the sacrifice. And Ifa was initiated for him as well. So Ifa was initiated into Ifa. Let's continue. This is how since then Snail started the habit of eating the ground and he does not die anymore. So this is how Snail started the habit of eating the ground and he does not die anymore. You all know that snail crawl on the floor, on the ground. You all know snail. Snail crawls on the floor, on the sand, on the ground. And snail was scared that crawling on the floor to eat sand may get him die young. So he went to Ifa to ask Ifa what he can do to save him from dying because he eats the ground. So Ifa was consulted and Snail was told to offer sacrifice with 33 egots. And some spiritual work was done for him, and he as well was initiated into Ifa. So this is how since then Snail started the habit of eating the ground and he does not die anymore. So let's continue. However, Snail began to dance and rejoice because he is going to live long. So what this Ifa is telling us is that whoever Odu Ifa Eji Ogbe appears to is talking about long life. One of the messages you can get from Odu Ifa Eji Ogbe is long life. And as you know that Ifa speaks in parable, and this is the story of how Snail went to Ifa to consult Ifa for long life. This is the outcome of what Ifa told Snail as at that time. So however, Snail began to dance and rejoice because he is going to live long. Let's continue. Here is the reference stanza of this very Odu Ifa that speaks about long life in Yoruba language. Let's check it out.
Ntẹnu rí lẹ́nu jẹ adífá fún ìgbín tí ń jẹ ilẹ̀ tí ò ní kú ìgbín-jẹ̀lẹ̀ ọmọ awo ìgbín-jẹ̀lẹ̀ èètì kú mọ́ ìgbín-jẹ̀lẹ̀ ọmọ awo.
So here's the reference stanza in English. What the mouth sees is what the mouth eats. This cast Ifa for the snail, who eats the ground without dying. The snail eats the ground, the child of a priest. The snail eats the ground. He is going to die no more. The snail eats the ground, the child of a priest. So let's read that again. What the mouth eats is what the mouth sees. This cast Ifa for the snail, who eats the ground without dying. The snail eats the ground, the child of a priest. The snail eats the ground. He is going to die no more. The snail eats the ground, the child of a priest. So, Ifa says that there is a blessing of long life to whom Odu Ifa Eji Ogbe appears to during an Ifa divination. So, Odu Ifa Eji Ogbe, as we said in our previous video, is a very good Odu Ifa. It talks about long life. It talks about blessing of child bearing, which we treated in our previous video. So Ifa says there is a blessing of long life to whom Odu Ifa Eji Ogbe appears to during an Ifa divination session. In the explanation of this Ifa voice, where it says that what the mouth sees is what the mouth eats. This is telling us that the snail wanted to know what it should do before it would start to eat the ground. Because we all agree that whoever eats the ground can die. The snail, however, offers sacrifice in order to avoid death while eating the ground. So you are welcome back. As we heard it, Odu Ifa Eji Ogbe speaks about long life, and there are other messages you can get from Odu Ifa Eji Ogbe. So, because of you guys who asked for it, I have done justice to this very episode that I did in Yoruba language. So this is the English version. I hope you have gotten some messages from this chapter of this Odu Ifa. Thank you very much. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button below, free of charge to subscribe, so that you don't miss anything on this platform. Thank you and get a better life.